Okay, no? So, ayan, no? Welcome to our channel, no? So, our topic for today is yung tinatawag nga nating PAS 36 impairment loss. Okay, so under PAS 36 impairment loss, prescribe the procedure to ensure that assets are not carried in excess of their recoverable amount. So, ang PAS 36 mo is para sa mga asset. Okay? Para ma-ensure kung yung pine-present mong carrying value sa financial statements mo is hindi mas mataas sa kanyang recoverable amount. Okay? Para mapakita yung fair presentation mo ng mga asset. Okay? So, PS 36 applies for the following asset. Okay? Number 1 is yung sa PPE, mga property, plant, and equipment. Number 2, yung investment property measured at cost model. Okay? Kapag yung investment property mo is measured under cost model, required siya mag-undergo sa PAS 36. Pero kapag ang investment property is measured at fair value, therefore, hindi siya mag-under sa PAS 36. Investment in associate, joint venture, and subsidiaries. So, past 28, measured investment in associate, joint ventures, and subsidiary at cost. Okay? Tangible asset, mga tangible assets. And lastly, yung tinatawag na goodwill. Pag sinabi natin goodwill, no, ito yung kung saan mas mataas yung binayad mo kesa dun sa fair value of net asset received. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng goodwill. Mas malaki yung binayad mo, therefore, nagkaroon ng goodwill. So, PAS 36 are for non-current asset. Okay? I-note mo lang din, no, na hindi kasama dito yung mga inventories. Okay, past 36 does not apply for inventories kasi they are already measured at lower between cost and net realizable value. Okay? Hindi rin kasama dito yung mga asset arising from construction contracts. Construction contracts. Okay, na kung saan under siya sa PAS 11. Okay? Hindi rin kasama dito yung mga deferred tax asset na nag-a-arise sa kanya sa deferral of income taxes. Okay? Mga deferred tax asset na nanggagaling sa mga tax benefits. Okay? Hindi rin kasama dito yung mga financial assets na kung saan may contractual right to receive cash or the cash itself. Okay? Hindi rin kasama dito yung mga agriculture measured at fair value. Okay, agriculture measured at fair value. Okay? At hindi rin kasama dito yung mga non-current asset held for sale. Okay, no, kapag classify mo na yung mismong mga non-current asset held for sale, therefore hindi na sila kasama under PAS 36. Okay? Ngayon, no, paano ba ginagawa yung sinasabing impairment loss? Generally, kapag mas mataas yung carrying amount kesa sa recoverable amount, the asset is impaired. Okay? The excess between the carrying amount minus the recoverable amount is impairment loss. Okay? Kapag mas mataas daw yung carrying amount kesa sa recoverable amount, the asset is impaired. Yung excess carrying amount minus recoverable amount is impairment loss. Pag impairment loss, measured ito sa profit or loss ratio. Profit or loss, no? Profit or loss statement. Kapag naman, yung carrying amount mo is equal or less than the recoverable amount, the asset is not impaired. Okay? So, therefore, no accounting problem. Okay? So, ano ang definition ng carrying amount? Ang definition ng carrying amount is amount at which an asset is recognized after deducting any accumulated depreciation or amortization and accumulated impairment loss. So, yung carrying amount mo, ito yung tinatawag nating carrying value. Okay, na kung saan yung historical cost minus accumulated depreciation minus accumulated impairment losses, yun yung tinatawag nating carrying amount or carrying value. Na kung saan ire-report, ito ang reporting mo ng mga real properties, no? So, mga real accounts. Ano naman yung tinatawag nating recoverable amount? Pag sinabi nating recoverable amount, ito yung expectation mo dun sa mismong asset na mare-recover mo. Okay? Ang sabi ng standard, no, yung recoverable amount na gagamitin mo is the higher between the fair value minus cost to sell or cost of disposal over disposal over the value in use. Yun yung recoverable amount mo. So, kung sino ang mas mataas sa fair value minus cost to sell or minus cost of disposal and value in use, sila yung ikukumpara mo dito sa carrying value. Okay? Which is higher. Kung higher dun sa dalawa, yun yung recoverable amount. Tas in excess, yung excess between carrying value minus recoverable amount is impairment loss. Okay? So, yung cost of disposal na sinasabi dito, ito naman yung mga incremental costs to dispose the asset or cash generating unit. Okay? Kapag nag-incur ka ng additional costs para maibenta mo, para ma-dispose mo, those are cost of disposal. Yung value in use naman na tinutukoy dito, ito yung present value of future cash flows to be derived from asset or cash generating unit. So, ito yung value niya today, value ng future cash flows na marireceive mo dun sa mismong asset. Okay? So, as a general rule, carrying amount is greater than recoverable amount, the asset is impaired. Okay? Pero, may mga indication din na kung saan, mga qualitative indication na kung saan yung asset is impaired. Okay? Merong dalawang klase ng indication para malaman mo if yung asset is impaired. Okay? Yung tinatawag nating external source at saka internal source of information. Okay? Yung mga external sources of information, kapag meron daw significant decline in asset value, ibig sabihin sumobra yung pagkababa ng value ng asset. Okay? Tuwing kailan ba nagkakaroon ng significant decrease ng value? For example, no, sa mga land, okay, sa mga lupa, nalindol, okay? Nalindol, nabalita ang malapit sa mga bulkan, okay? O kaya binabaha. Therefore, may possibility na magkaroon ng significant decline ng asset value. O kaya for example, sa mga building. Di ba pag sa building, kapag sobrang luma na, okay, sobrang luma na, o kaya naman nadaanan ng kalamidad, na lindol, okay, no? Di ba nagkakaroon ng significant decline in the asset value? Therefore, merong possible indication of impairment. Changes in market adversely affect the recoverable amount of the asset. So, for example natin ito, yung mga dating radyo, okay, no? O kaya yung mga TV mo na malalaki. Di ba yung mga TV na malalaki dati, sobrang mahal yan nung araw? Pero nagkaroon ng change in market, naging flat screen yung mga TV, nag-decline yung value ng mga hunchback na TV, no? Okay? Increase in market interest that affect the discount rate used in calculated asset, value in use, and consequently its recoverable amount. So, nagkaroon daw ng increase ng market interest rate na kung saan naka-apekto siya dun sa computation mo ng value in use at ng recoverable amount. Therefore, possible merong impairment. And lastly, for external source, the carrying amount of the entity's net asset exceed its market capitalization. So, ibig sabihin, yung kumpanya itself, the company itself, nag-exceed yung recognition nila ng carrying amount. dun sa market capitalization. Pag sinabi kasi nating market capitalization, no, ito yung share niya dun sa market. Okay, ito yung share niya dun sa mismong active market. Okay, kapag nag-exceed ka dun sa measurement mo sa active market, therefore, possible merong impairment. Ano naman yung mga internal sources, no? Internal sources, obsolescence or physical damage of the asset. So, malamang, no, kapag ka na-obsolete, okay, no, naluma, okay, kaya naman nagkaroon ng damage, physical damage, lalo na kung major physical damage, nagde-decrease or nagkakaroon ng possible impairment. For example na lang sa mga eroplano, di ba, yung mga lumang eroplano, okay, hindi na yan pinapatakbo sa himpapawid, no? O kaya naman nasira yung mga engine, o kaya hindi na mapapalitan yung engine, hindi na mapalitan dahil sa sobrang luma. Internal source ang tawag doon. Significant change in the expected use of an asset that it's affect recoverability. Okay, no? So, merong expectation, no? Significant change. Parang ngayon, no? Yung tulad na example natin kanina sa TV, no? Yung sa TV, may significant change from hunchback to digital. Naapektuhan na yung mga recoverability nito. An indication that the economic performance of an asset will be worse than expected. So, meron daw indication na yung economic performance ng mismong asset will be worse. Example ito sa mga production. Okay, no, yung mga lumang production, no. So, good morning chicken. Okay. So, ayan yung mga kuyari sa mga production, yung indication na merong decrease, no. Okay, decrease dun sa output dun sa PPE, therefore possible merong indication of impairment. Okay, based sa PAS 36, no, ito yung general rule and yung mga assumption na kung saan possible may impairment. Okay, no, so PAS 36 impairment loss, required daw na i-test mo yung impairment for the following asset at least annually. Okay, even there is no indication of impairment. Okay, for the following asset, kailangan i-test mo yung impairment at least annually kahit walang indication. Number 1 is yung mga intangible asset with indefinite useful life, no? Yung mga asset, yung mga intangible asset na pwedeng ma-renew na kung saan indefinite yung kanilang buhay. Okay? Kailangan mo itong i-test yung impairment niya. Okay? Yung mga intangible not yet available for use. Okay? Mga intangible asset not yet available for use. And yung goodwill acquired in business combination. So, yung goodwill na kung saan mas malaki yung binayad mo kaysa dun sa fair value of net asset received, kailangan i-test mo at least annually kung merong indication of impairment. So, measuring recoverability, yung recoverable amount mo, di ba ang sabi nga natin, it is the higher between the fair value less cost of disposal and value in use. Okay? If one of them exceeds of its carrying amount, the asset is not impaired and the other amounts need to be computed. Okay? So for example, no, ang sabi natin ang carrying amount mo is 100. Okay? Ang carrying amount mo is 100 and yung fair value less cost of disposal mo is 105. Okay? So kung titignan mo, since mas mataas yung fair value less cost of disposal mo kaysa sa carrying amount, walang impairment. Tama. Pero ang requirement ng standard is dapat i-recompute mo din yung isang indication for recoverable amount, which is value in use. Okay? So, what if kapag yung value in use mo is 95 lang? Okay? So, sabi natin ang recoverable amount mo is kung sino yung mas mataas sa dalawa. So, therefore, ang recoverable amount mo is fair value less cost of disposal. Pero, since hindi siya nag-exceed sa carrying amount, walang impairment. Pero ang sabi ng standard, required mo rin i-recompute yung value in use. Teka, baka pwede, i-compute mo din daw yung value in use kasi baka sa value in use siya magkaroon ng impairment. Okay? Kaya ang sabi ng standard, i-compute mo yung dalawa. Okay? Kahit na mas mataas yung isa, pero bumaba naman siya dun sa isa, meron pa rin yan impairment. So therefore, meron ka pa rin impairment dito na 5. Okay, kahit mas mataas yung fair value less cost of disposal kaysa sa value in use, pero yung carrying amount mo naman is nag-exceed sa value in use, therefore, meron pa ring impairment na 5. Okay? Kapag ka naman hindi imposibleng makompute yung fair value less cost of disposal, ang recoverable amount mo daw is yung value in use. Okay? Pero if there is a reason to believe that value in use exceeds, hindi daw nag-e-exceed dun sa mismong carrying amount, ang recoverable amount mo is yung fair value less cost of disposal pa din. Okay? Normal case yan sa mga asset held for disposal. Nangyayari yan kapag yung asset mo is kailangan na i-dispose. Okay? So ano naman yung mga example ng cost of disposal? Pag sinabi natin cost of disposal, no, ito yung mga additional cost or mga cost na na-incur mo sa pagbebenta ng asset. Okay? So number 1 is yung tinatawag mga legal taxes, no, legal costs and similar transaction taxes. Mga cost of removing the asset, for example, yung mga computer set. Okay, yung mga computer set is kailangan tanggalin mo daw yung mga software, mga antivirus, Canva, etc. no? Okay, kailangan mong tanggalin. Yung estimated cost nun is cost of removing the asset. Direct incremental cost to bring the asset into condition for its sale. So for example, no, yung PPE, yung equipment mo, nilinis mo pa. Okay, since nilinis mo para maibenta, yung cost ng paglilinis is kailangan ilagay mo sa cost of disposal. Okay? Termination benefits and costs associated with reorganizing a business following the disposal of an asset are not regarded as cost of disposal. So, yung mga pagbabayad mo sa mga empleyado, for example, yung business yung tineterminate mo, no? Yung mga pambabayad mo sa empleyado, o kaya kapag nagkaroon ng reorganization, nagpalit-palit ng empleyado, okay, nagpalit ng organization structure, those are not disposal asset or not disposal costs. Okay? So, value in use. So, paano nakakompute yung value in use? Ang sabi natin, these are present value of future net cash flow expected to be derived from the continuing use of an asset from its disposal at end of its useful life. So, yung step niya para makompute mo siya, yung estimated future cash inflow and outflow expected to be derived and from its final disposal. Yung hanggang dulo. Kung ano yung hanggang dulo na possibility na cash flow and inflow is kailangan mong i-estimate. And kailangan mong i-apply kung ano yung appropriate discount rate for those future cash flows. Kung ano yung applicable implicit rate, no? Okay? So, estimated future cash flows, cash flow projection. Ito yung pag-estimate mo ng future cash flows, no? Yung mga cash flow projection are based on management best estimate. Management gives greater weight to external evidence. Okay? So, yung mga cash flow projection, estimate to ng management. Okay? Yung management dapat is mag-base sila dun sa mga external evidence, yung mga active market. Most recent financial budget forecast approved by the management. Based on asset current condition, exclude cash flow from arising from future restructuring not yet committed, enhancing asset performance, and income taxes. So, pansinin mo sa estimated future cash flows, nanggagaling ito lahat sa management. Okay? Since nanggagaling ito sa management, as an accountant, kukunin lang natin kung ilan yung best estimate nila. Okay? So, mga financing activities related dun sa pag-estimate, no? Includes dito sa cash flow, yung tinatawag na revenues derived from continuing use. So, kahit na impaired, ginagamit mo pa din. Okay? Mga day-to-day costs using the asset. Any residual value of an asset and disposal costs. So, mga cash inflow projection over maximum of period of 5 years. Projection beyond 5 years or extrapolated using a steady or declining growth rate. So, ibig sabihin yung cash flow projection dapat mag-over ng maximum period of 5 years. Avoid double counting, no? So, ibig sabihin, hindi mo kailangan i-double count yung cash inflow, which is yung receivable, and cash outflow for the liability. And based on foreign currency, are translated using the spot rate. Kapag yung inflow niya is in foreign currency, yung cash inflow mo is foreign currency, kailangan i-translate mo siya kung kailan nagkaroon ng exchange rate, spot exchange rate. Okay? So, yung discount rate, no? Yung discount rate naman na gagamitin mo daw is yung pre-tax rate that reflect the current assessment of time value of money and risk for which the future cash flow estimate have not been adjusted. So ang ginagamit mo dito is yung mga pre-tax rate, no? Hindi kasama pa yung tax rate. Okay? Na kung saan yung time value of money is ina-assume mo and the risk for the future cash flow is estimated. Okay? And recognizing and measuring an impairment loss, carrying amount of an asset exceeds its recoverable amount will reduce to the recoverable amount. The reduction is impairment loss. The carrying amount reduced is in recoverable amount is impairment loss. So, kapag ka nagkaroon ng indication ng impairment, i-recognize mo yung impairment loss sa profit or loss statement. Okay? Once na na-recognize mo siya sa profit or loss statement, yung carrying value ng asset will be decreased. Okay? So, for example, no, yung carrying value mo is 100. Tapos, ang recoverable amount mo is 90. So, ibig sabihin, merong impairment loss na 10. Sa reporting mo, ang ipapakita mo na carrying amount is yung 90. Okay? Doon sa PPE, kung PPE man yung na-impair, ang ipe-present mo as part of the financial statements is yung 90. Tapos yung 10 is magre-reflect sa profit or loss. Okay? So, impairment loss is recognized immediately in profit or loss. Unless nagkaroon ng revaluation. Okay? So, for example, next year, nagkaroon ng recovery. Okay, nagkamali ka ng estimation dun sa recoverable amount. So, for example, nagkaroon ng recoverability, naging 110 yung recoverable amount mo. Okay? Yung impairment loss na previously recognized mo would be gain, no? Gain on reversal na 10. Ito, mare-report yan sa profit or loss. Yung gain on reversal, mapro-provide yan sa profit or loss, at yung recovery na additional 10 is OCI item. Okay? Yung additional 10, kasi 'di ba 20 na to, no? From 90 papuntang 20, i-reverse mo muna yung impairment loss na previously recognized, kaya may gain on reversal which is reported on profit or loss, and yung 10 na isa pa is presented as revaluation surplus under OCI item. Okay? Okay, no? So, for cash generating units and goodwill, no? Yung cash generating unit is the smallest identifiable group of asset that generate cash inflows that are largely dependent of cash inflow from other asset. So, ibig sabihin, no, yung cash generating units is composition of iba-ibang small assets. So, for example, yung cash generating units mo may lamang PPE, intangibles, and goodwill, na kung saan reliant sila sa iisang inflow. Ang general rule, no, for impairment loss, sabi natin, yung recoverable amount is identified based on individual asset. Okay? Except, no, kapag yung CGU mo is hindi ma-identify. Okay? Hindi mo ma-identify isa-isa yung recoverable amount nila. Therefore, kailangan i-identify mo yung recoverable amount based dun sa iisang cash generating units. Okay? So, kapag ka, okay, no, sapagka yung mismong recoverable as a whole is greater, exceeds dun sa mismong CGU, walang impairment. Pero kapag yung CGU, yung cash generating unit as a whole is greater than the recoverable amount, merong impairment. Okay? So, etong cash generating units, no, generally, eto yung exemption mo na kung saan kailangan i-compute mo isa-isa yung mismong asset dun sa mismong test ng impairment. Pero kapag ka yung as a whole dun sa cash generating unit nagkaroon ng mas mataas na carrying amount kaysa recoverable amount, therefore merong impairment. Okay? So, dyan na lang muna, no? If gusto mo ng further clarification, no, comment down below, no? So, salamat sa pakikinig, no? Paalam!